Gurudev ji, and welcome to your Saheli chat show. My name is Jazz Saikon, and we're very grateful to Kanshi TV for giving us this platform. And with me today, I have two beautiful guests. I have Dav Ubi. Hello, Dav. Welcome to you.
Thank you.
And I have Gadyal Gacha. Hello, Gadyal. Sasika. And today, ladies, ਆਪਾਂ light-hearted ਰੱਖਣਾ a chat show and talk about all the things that we feel we can't still talk about within our culture. Obviously, you know, there are so many things that we still feel taboo and we can't open up, and all that affects our mental health and our mindset. And it is National Mental Health Day on the 10th of October, so I just thought to touch on the mental health is a big one.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Davji, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੋਗੇ mental health ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ?
Mental health, I think, all depends upon childhood upbringing and how we've been programmed from our surroundings and family and culture. It has an impact on what we believe the world means to us. And holly, if somebody has an experience where they feel really, really insecure, afraid of opening up and speaking up, expressing their emotions, that holly does have an impact on the rest of our lives.
Definitely, and mental health is something ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਕੋ it's nothing to be ashamed of. ਅੱਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ mental health ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਜਾਂ ਕਹੀਏ ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜਾ depressed feel ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਪਾਗਲ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਇਹ ਠੀਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ। ਇਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਰਜ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੁੱਲ ਕੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ ਜੇ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੱਕਾ ਰਿਹਾ, and also ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨਾਲ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ, ਹਨਾ, on a daily basis। ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਕਾਤੇ ਇਦਾਂ feel ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ, how am I feeling today? Do I feel like getting up? You know, obviously there are the little signs, right?
Hanji, be aware, watch your family around. If you see changes in the behavior, they're more sort of like enclosed and they don't want to go anywhere, they don't want to eat and sit there and there. These are signs you have to watch out for. It doesn't mean they're bamar or anything. No. I mean, I believe mental health is not an illness. It's merely something things coming up that needs to be addressed. Is some sort of a trauma or memory, and we can't remember that trauma because it's a subconscious memory, but it's coming up in symptoms and we just feel drained and feel like afraid for no reason, and something out of the blue you just feel this sudden fear. So it's just something that needs addressing with love and compassion. What do you think?
At the moment, with we're coming out of the lockdown, people's mental health, it's affected in a big way because people's lifestyles, everything, work-life balance, everything has changed, hasn't it?
Definitely.
The way people live day to day, because some people struggle with the thought of going back to work. Yesterday was a fine example. We had a blackout. Social media band ho gaya.
Yeah, absolutely.
People couldn't cope with that.
I know, it's
and
crazy.
For me, it was brilliant because I felt it was a bit of a detox. So, you know, nikki cheez nu apni mental health nu affect na kando initiative. And je kos hega affect hunda, it's okay. Talk to somebody. And je thanu lagda koi sahi nahi hega, ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਠੀਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਸਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਲੱਗਦਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੁੱਛੋ, be nice, be kind, and talk to them. and ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕਾਲੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰੀ ਦੀ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛੀਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਆ, and before ਅਗਲੇ ਨੇ ਜਵਾਬ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਤੁਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ. So just be there, listen to them, go and have a cup of tea with somebody, you know, that you feel may be lonely, they may be struggling, and these are the little kind things we can do. Gadyal ji, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੋਗੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ?
I think mental health is something that we should all try and recognise with each other. Doesn't matter how old you are, you know, it's important to care and support each other, and open dialogue all the time is really, really good. No matter how old you are, from a child up until you're 80, 90 years old. I mean, we can all feel lonely and isolated, and it's important that we, you know, do look out, you know, the same as what Dav's just said, and make sure that we're all okay. And you know, there is a massive stigma still attached to mental health, and that's a real big shame. You know, you can walk down the street and instantly you can see that somebody's unwell, and we're all a little bit frightened and a bit scared and think, but in reality, people who are mentally unwell, genuinely, very, very few of them will end up hurting you. It's just sometimes they can be confused, lost, or something. And in my opinion, I think it's better if we try and help that person in whatever capacity.
Definitely.
And that just makes us all better, decent human beings. And mental health, if you know somebody within your family who is struggling and doesn't want to speak out about it, I think it's important that we try and support that person rather than shunning them away and thinking, well, it's their problem and it's not ours, because who knows, one day we could be going through that, either ourselves or our children, our siblings. So it's, you know, ongoing support is absolutely crucial.
And I think women on the whole are pretty good. जिदा आप गलबात कर ली दी एक दूजी ना है ना गुरुद्वारे सियाणियां आंटियां वो गल एक दूजी ना कर लेंदियां ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਗਤੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਬੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਯੂ نو ਉਹ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ਰਮ ਹੈ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ they've grown up hearing like you know ਸ਼ੇਰਬਾਨ you know ਤੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਆ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੋਂਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਤਕੜਾ ਹੋ ਇਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਕਰ ਪਰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬੇਟਾ going through anything talk to him ask him and it's okay to not be okay ਇਹ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ always used to ਹਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਆ ਜੇ ਕੁਝ ਵੱਡਾ ਵੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੋਵੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਫੇਰ ਵੀ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਤੁਰਦੇ ਆ but you know this is where with mental health I suppose self care comes in just to check in on yourself, create that space to be you, to be the authentic you, rather than like, you know, all our lives, us Asian women especially, we've had it quite hard because we're, you know, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਧੀਆਂ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਵਾਈਫ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਮਮ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਬਰਨ ਆਊਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਆ where are we we're so busy trying to be right for the society right for the culture but ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਨੇਚਰ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਟੈਂਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਵਰਜਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੰਦੇ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ
ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਨੀ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਆਪਣੇ ਰੱਖ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ that we don't allow ourselves to express certain emotions we too tough on ourselves trying to play these roles hana and all the karke over the years we're holding so much anger or sadness because we haven't got time to frustration is the worst one we haven't got time to express it we got too busy in our roles that eventually it's like the cup's overflowing that's when the mental you know characteristics come out and then before we know it we're just shut away we're like we want to hide away and hibernate so you can't control it's too overwhelming
and we're worried about the opinions and the voices of the others that apna jehda voice hunda oh ta appa kadde hi nahi hege we never kind of you know listen to that little inner girl that's still there trying to come out
and the main thing is jidda apne log jidda jehde siane hunde si hon appa ta nahi kende we kind of understand because we're the next generation but ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਲੋਕ ਕੀ ਕਹੋਗੇ
exactly
ਲੋਕ ਕੌਣ ਆ who is ਲੋਕ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਔਖਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਾਗੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੋ
ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਸਹੀ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਆਪ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫੇਰ ਵੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ they'll have an opinion ਜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਤੁਰੀ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਚੱਕਣ ਚੱਕਿਆ ਯੋ ਸਹੇਲੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਖੁਦ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਲੱਭਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਇੰਨੀ ਔਖੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਸ਼ਕਤੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਟੂ ਡੂ ਦਿਸ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਕਈ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ ਬਟ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਚੱਲ ਉਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਬਣੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੱਭ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਰਾਈਟ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਜਣੇ ਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣ ਲਈਏ ਲਾਈਫ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰ ਦਈਏ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆ ਕੇ ਅਪਰੋਚ ਕਰ ਲੈਣ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ job is done hana and this is what it's about and you know I'm not a coach but I can put you in touch with somebody and these two ladies are coaches and they have done the work on themselves and ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ never mind about the big fat wedding give them that big education and make them independent to be able to look after themselves and do that inner work on yourself
for a woman the most important way to be attractive is being secure in yourself having that confidence that's what makes a woman very confident and attractive to everyone around them it's not like you said the money extra money you know spending on weddings and things like that
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਤੇ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਫਰਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ
ਮੈਂ ਆਉਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਸੀ ਜੈਂਡਰ ਇਕੁਐਲਿਟੀ ਤੇ ਹਜੇ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਹਨਾ
ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਹਰੇਕ ਮਾਪੇ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਕਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੁੜੀ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ ਹਨਾ ਪਰ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਖੁੱਲੀ ਛੁੱਟੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕਰਨ ਬਟ ਇਕੁਐਲਿਟੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੇਮ ਰੱਖੋ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਰੱਖੋ ਸਮਝਾਵੋ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਹਨਾ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਤੋਂ ਪੁੱਛ ਲਵੋ ਯੂ نو ਸਾਡੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਕਲਚਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਗਲਤ ਕੁਛ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੀ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਗੱਲ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਲੋਕ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੀ ਕਹੋਗੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਪਰ ਹੈਲਪ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੋੜ ਆ we all need help from each other and it's important that we come out of this mindset ਵੀ ਲੋਕ ਕੀ ਕਹੋਗੇ because okay time ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ and like I said mindset is everything ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮਨ ਜਿੱਤਾ ਜਗ ਜਿੱਤਾ conquer the mind conquer the world ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਹੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਾਈਸਲੀ ਬੁਲਾ ਤੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਅਪਸੈਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂ ਤੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਤੂੰ ਗਲਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਾਵਰ ਵੀ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ so power of the mind मैं पहला डाव को आंदी है
हाँ जी power of the mind is so important you know like you said once you conquer your mind सारी you conquer the दुनिया सारे सारे जो बीमारी दा जा रहा क्लेश problem relationship दा जा रहा is all in our way of thinking so if you want to resolve आले दुआले problem let's solve it apne aap de vich and that's you find that the work needs to be done here we spend so much time and energy thinking I'll be happy I'll be feeling secure once those people sort themselves out those situations you know work according to that makes me feel happy so we always putting all our attention on the outer world thinking the circumstances and if they sort themselves out fame a cushion that's giving your power away it doesn't work like that as is sari energy at the waste in most of our life but actually you know what's outside of us is a reflection of what's going on in here there are programs beliefs you know all these things are running in our subconscious mind will play out there baldi cheez hone nahi changi lagdi it's not working it's not supporting you take your attention away from it take away your story away from it and let's work in here and once you do that inner work see it changes your whole circumstances you don't have to sit in front of that person who caused you so much grief all over the years oh ape bande ne surda jena once you will work on ourselves
and also ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ bad energy ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗਲਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਵੀ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਪਰੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਓ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਤੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ bad vibration ਨਾ ਭੇਜੋ send them blessings and say you know what I forgive you ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੂਗੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਲਿਸਨ ਕਰਨਾ and it's like a garden isn't it ਤੁਸੀਂ weeds grow ਕਰ ਲਓ ਜਾਂ ਫੁੱਲ grow ਕਰ ਲਓ your thoughts are the flowers and the weeds right
ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਦੁਖੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੁਖੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਖੁਸ਼ ਆ ਉਹ ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ
ਸੋ ਬੰਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ
deep seated thing
they don't need more judgment ਜੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤਕਲੀਫ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ actually they need more love and compassion but also ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਾਨਾ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ because they are mirroring back something about us and what is in me take the tension away from what is in me what program am I running that's creating this situation if they're making me feel not good enough they don't respect me what part of me that I believe I'm not good enough where मैं कित्थों सिक्ख्या छोटी हुंदे ते that I don't feel loved I don't feel respected because that program is running and that's creating these situations around me so I'm feeling I'm not being given the same sort of equality you know treatment with my brother or siblings what is it me that I'm holding I'm not good enough you know everybody else gets more love than me that's the story that I'm running that is playing out the rest of our lives so let's work on ourselves if you really want to find a much more harmonious environment you want to live in
definitely it's like that triple effect isn't it मैं पहला validation ਲੱਭਦੀ ਆ am I being seen am I good enough ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਉਮਰ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਲੰਘ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਰਾਈਟ ਲੰਘ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ just following because we've been told you know good girls ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਪਰ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਗਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਆ I've made them so independent they are good girls and they you know still live their life on their terms and they do whatever they want to do because our growing up was different we weren't streetwise enough right we were very protected and very like kind of lived a sheltered life hana hon ਆਪਾਂ ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ independence by ਤੁਸੀਂ you know go out do what you want to do and go and live your life and give them all the opportunities ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲੇ and that's how we grow watching them we are growing and we're evolving and it's these small changes that we need to keep making even things like you know mental health like koi kenda oh my relationship is broken or you know my daughter or my son their marriage hasn't worked out nothing is bad apni conditioning ya jehdi kende oh bad yeah divorce is bad you know
ਅਸੀਂ meaning ਪਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ
ਅਸੀਂ meaning ਪਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ
depending on what we
nothing is
believe
bad ਉਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ my example, you know, when I was at my lowest, मैं दसगी और मैंने की हो गया काते होया मैंने, then you look at everything and you think, you know what, now what I'm doing, it's actually everything that happened to me, it happened for me.
Exactly.
जब आप किसी दी मदद कर सकते हो ना, life is happening through you, how the stages are.
Definitely.
If you keep doing the work on yourself.
That's right.
This is, you know, I can't stress enough, we're only here for a short while, but live your life on your terms and do the work.
Yeah. कोई challenge आने तकलीफ का आंदे आ, don't start judging it. Actually go deep into it, thinking, what am I going to learn from this? Mere waste key lesson. Yeah. So we're always trying to find a solution. Don't find a solution, find a solution. This is a soul learning for me here. What is it that I'm going to grow from? What is it that I need to become a better version of me? Maybe I need to stop thinking about I'm not good enough in this, I'm not intelligent in this situation. Maybe I need to change my story. So every challenge, every confrontation, there is some beauty gift in there. If we just detach from the negative story and actually say, you know, why bar kyo hunda, you know. And I always notice that jade chote bacche hunde, if they feel like the only time they got praised if they did something good, otherwise they didn't get the attention. So they learn chote hunde doing that, thinking in life that if I be extra good, if I be extra, this will become the people pleaser. So if I do enna karu fir minnu people pyar karoge, they will validate me, minnu approval. So we learn all our lives that my happiness depends on I have to be extra nice. But that's not coming from a place of love. That's coming from a place of fear, isn't it? So actually the intention behind your being niceness is fear. But only fear attracts fear. And then those other people always feel let down, disappointed, because and now energy parke and they didn't get in return. They had too much expectations, so they feel like he still didn't treat me properly, didn't love me properly, he didn't respect me properly.
The thing is, the expectation, it's a big one, right? When we get married, or when our child gets married, everybody, we have an expectation of the other person. Oh, mainu khosh rakho, oh mainu khosh rakhugi, oh mere liye ye karna chahida, that person's got to love me that much. But oh ta aap khali hai, ode ko thwade along expectation hai, oh mere liye ye karugi. And this is where we don't realize, you know, everything that you're looking for, ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਆ। ਆਪਾਂ ਦੂਜੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਲੱਭਦੇ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਡਿਸਪਾਇੰਟ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਉਹਨੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਪਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਜਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੂੰਗੀ। ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਪ ਦਾ ਐਕਸਪੈਕਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਆ।
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਬਾਕੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ। ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਗੁੱਸੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ you know I'm upset or I'm feeling down, then what can I give to you? What can I give to any relationship?
It's because when you come from lack, you know, from a place of lack, so there's something missing, right? So you're looking for that.
You want somebody to fill it up.
You want someone to fill you up, right? Fill your cup. So first fill your cup up, then you can fill the other person's cup. Because you know, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੇ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੁਰੇ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਈ ਚਾਹ ਦਾ ਕੱਪ ਪਿਆ, for example, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹੀ ਡੁੱਲਣਾ. And if I'm faced with a trauma, I'm going to react the way you know, what's going on inside of me, right? By that. So if you're content and you're doing your best, you're aligned with yourself. You know what I found was the biggest thing for me during my challenging times? You lose your husband. I lost my husband. Then I started losing people around me. Acceptance. I had to accept, okay, he isn't going to come back. He's gone. But I'm still here and I've got to breathe and I've got to live my life. And these people that are not behaving, say with me now, it's okay, because you expect these people to be in your life for the whole of your book. But some people are only supposed to be there for a chapter. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਆ, because ਜਦੋਂ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਖੁੱਲੀਆਂ ਡੋਰਾਂ ਦੇਖੋ. Who else is trying to come into your life to make you and to take you to the next place that you need to go to?
Absolutely.
And it's not easy. It's very hard when you're going through something like that. So don't for once think, you know, sokha kamya. Bahut aukha hai. This is where the investment in yourself actually helps you to overcome traumas.
And I think now we're in a position where there's so much support out there. There's lots of charities that support, you know, different things which are happening to different people at different times in their life. So sometimes it's just about reaching out and finding out what's available for you.
Like I said, je tusi, you know, kite bhi stuck ho, a program dekhte ho, ta tusi feel kar that tusi, you know, could do with some help. contact us, your Saheli, and we can put you in touch with so many different coaches or charities or organisations that can help you as well. If we can't help you, there is somebody else. So इधर ना सोचो बे असी कल्ले हैं, आज असी बहुत डिप्रेस्ड फील करते हैं, और मैं एक्सरसाइज खाना सी केक दा पर मैं सारा खा लेना करके मैं डिप्रेस्ड फील करती हूँ, या मैं एक गिलास ही पींदा हुंदा, आज मैं सारी बोतलें पी लेनी हैं. Because the problem isn't going to go away. क्योंकि दूसरे दिन तुसी उठना, प्रॉब्लम होर होना, नाल ओदे थोड़ी बॉडी माइंड दा अगे दुखदा, ते नाल थोड़ी बॉडी भी दुखदी होनी है. So
नाल जे तुसी किसी नाल गल करदे आ, थोड़ा मन हल्का हो जांदा थोड़ा जिहा. तां ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ, ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ ਹੋਊਗੀ. There's going to be hundreds or thousands before you, so it's the same thing, and hopefully somebody in your life or out there somewhere can help you get through it.
I always think, Rona, you know, it's just a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness. It takes a very strong, courageous person to express their emotions, and crying is a good thing.
Definitely.
You know, it's cleansing, it's releasing of energy, and don't ever see it as one thing.
And this is where, you know, when you start to heal, that's where the growth happens, doesn't it, for you? So we're just keeping this light-hearted and just really talking about, you know, what's helped us. So tell me a little bit, Gadya, tell me a little bit about your journey as a child.
My parents unfortunately divorced when I was very young. This had a massive impact on my life. There was domestic violence. You know, both of my parents, God rest them, they're not here anymore, so I can speak quite openly about this, and hopefully through listening to what I'm saying it may help somebody out there, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Through that, you know, I was the child, I never actually saw anything, but I heard everything, and it affected me profoundly. It gave me strength rather than weaken me. It made me strong, thinking that I had expectations of what my husband would be, my partner, and that he wouldn't be able to do these things to me, because I'd already decided in my own mind that this wasn't going to happen. So for me, you know, the tables had turned completely. And you know, I've always kind of, people that I meet, I always say, you know, it's all about equality, about valuing yourself and not allowing the other person. But now I understand that maybe my dad can't have been in a good place to have been doing that in the first place, and maybe there was no support all those years ago, and it's probably the same now, where there may be men and women who do this kind of stuff, you know, where they hurt each other, but really they're hurt themselves and they don't know how to get out of that cycle, and they need help, but it's just like a vicious cycle that just goes on and on and on, and it doesn't have to be like physical abuse, it can be any amount
emotional
of abuse you know, that happens, and you know, coercive, and there's lots of different kinds that happen. So through that gave me strength, and I've always, you know, wanted to help other people that may or may not be going through this and don't know how to get out of it. And it's a slow journey. It doesn't happen overnight, but there is light, and we can all help each other. So
thank you.
That's where I am right now.
It's important, I think, you know, just to kind of share a little bit of a journey so the audience get familiar with who we are, why we're doing this. And you know, me, I was the eldest of 5, so there was a lot of pressure growing up, and pressure to get married at a certain age, and then when you get married there's pressure to live with in-laws and do what they do. So you know, this is what I was saying, like, really, that little girl inside of you, where is she often? She's not there, is she? Because we are just so busy, just conditioned, and just living the life like we're supposed to, and we've been told that we're supposed to live. Back in the day, like you said, our parents, they didn't have all these platforms that we have today. So we are very lucky, we are very blessed. And also, you know, we need to arrive at who you really are without all the roles. Hana? That's like half of the battle, isn't it? So we really need to know this, I think.
I think a lot of the time we're all on autopilot.
We are.
And we're just going from one stress to another to another to another. And we really don't allow ourselves permission even to just sit and think, well, what is it that makes me happy? I'm so busy making everybody else happy.
But that's on survival mode as well, isn't it?
And survival and autopilot. And maybe you get that little bit older. Whereas I think, you know, keeping yourself happy is so important for your physical and your mental health, but not just when the kids have grown up and gone off to uni or wherever.
Or do it now. Karke jo kuch apne na ho gaya, wo ta apna teacher sega, present vi teacher hi apne liye, hai na? But you got to do all this, what makes you happy now. Sometimes it can just be a little thing, like go out with your friend and have that big fat slice of cake and have a coffee and a chat. That's all you need, and you're happy. Sometimes just reading a really good book
Going for a walk.
empowers you. Go for a walk, go to the gym. These are little things that will, you know, make you feel.
Sometimes it's okay not to do nothing.
Absolutely. Do nothing at all.
I don't feel guilty about it.
TV.
Just be. Have a pajama day and just relax. Just listen to that, you know, to yourself. What do you want to do today? What do you feel like today?
Even that little voice in your head might say, you know, you've been sitting here 1 hour, you haven't done anything, you should be doing this. Sometimes that little voice in your head, it's a voice that's usually saying that we learned from when we were young, that, you know, Belina Beto, people are lazy or useless, that sort of program, that's voice that, So sometimes you got to really say to that voice, hey, chill out.
Yes,
you know, give me a break, I'm okay here.
Absolutely. And the next thing I wanted to just touch on was like boundaries. So, you know, when something is violating us or something isn't sitting well with us or something's being said, we often find like setting boundaries and sticking to the boundaries quite challenging. So, Gudyal, I mean...
I think boundaries are really, really important, but I don't feel like as young women or young girls, I mean, you know, we were told about them.
No.
I mean, I remember saying to children that I used to work with, you know, that always to try and keep yourself safe, you know, when you're going to and from school, but there are boundaries within boundaries. So when I say that, I mean, you know, if you're not happy with the way someone's speaking to you, then it's your job to reflect on that and think, well, does that align with who I am? And would I prefer not to be part with that person in order to kind of lead a happier life, or, you know, because if that person judges me for the way I am or how I speak or how I dress, then there's no kind of contentment in seeing that person. So therefore, me personally, I just withdraw. But whatever makes you happy, whether it's confronting it, but in a kind and caring way, because you don't know what's happening in that person's mind. They might feel threatened by you or something else, and without having a conversation. But not everybody wants to have that conversation. They'd rather just kind of go out the back door. So whatever makes you comfortable in who you are, that's the most important thing. And for me, those are the boundaries that keep us all happy.
I think you have a different perspective, everyone, about it, because I always feel like, let's talk about toxic relationships. Like, I think to, you know, respect my boundaries in this area is like, I love myself enough to, you know, distance myself from this relationship. It's too toxic. But you distance yourself with the judgment of that person is so vile and quite a negative judgment, isn't it? That I love myself to keep myself away. But then you got to say to yourself, right, okay, I'm trying to create this boundary here, but then why am I walking away with this judgment? This person is not good enough for me, because whatever attracted that person to me in the first place, this program I'm running, I'm not good enough, I'm not respected enough, I'm taking that program with me to the next relationship. So where is the boundary there? You know, so you got to say to yourself, okay, this person has taught me something through this toxic experience, that what is it in me that's toxic in me, that I have a relationship about me? That's what I need to work on. And then once you work on that, you don't really have the boundary issue.
No, thank you. That was good. That was good. And the other thing is, you know, how we're so good at kind of wearing masks, aren't we? And saying, we're all very good at that because we have grown up doing that all our lives. And I think that's one of the things that we do really, really well. So, and you know, it's just to really embrace sometimes it's good to just embrace the emptiness rather than mask it. So I just want your thoughts on that.
I think we're in a society of fakeness right now. There's a lot of fake everything, you know, and I think to get a friend or somebody that actually you can be really authentic with, and this is part of, you know, the coaching that I kind of want to do with the people that I work with, is that just to be the real you and not to be afraid to show your light, if you know what I mean. So
it's afraid to say no as well, aren't we?
We all have to wear masks. You know, different scenarios throughout the day. But there comes a point when you should be comfortable to take it off. It's a bit like taking your makeup off.
Absolutely. I was going to just say that. You know, at the beginning of lockdown, when lockdown first happened, I really felt everything and anything that was fake, it went. You couldn't get your nails done. You couldn't get your fake eyelashes done. You know, you couldn't get your hair dyed. And
but it made life easy, didn't it?
Made life easy, didn't it? And a lot of people's relationships broke. So a lot of fakeness went. So, you know, the lockdown for me personally was really good because you learned so much. And work-life balance got better. The commute stopped and you think, I don't need to travel 50 minutes every day to get to work. I can do my job from home. And it's just like a learning curve all the time, isn't it? Better work-life balance. You get to spend more time with your children, more family time, more time at the house. When you switch off at 5, you're switched off. It's learning to switch off, isn't it? In general life as well, not just work. Because we often don't do that switching off. We're just like, and surrender to who you are really here to be. You know, that is a big one for me. Let go of all your egos. Because ego, I know you're big on that. And ego is a big one. Gosh, we hunda. Then it's again your ego showing up, isn't it?
I mean, use the word program, the beliefs is another word for ego. It's a program that we're running that as you're not allowed to being our true selves. It's the program just quickly, because this is subconscious things, and like you said, 95% of our life is a reflection of our programs and beliefs, and they're somehow always playing all the time. And but another thing, we're talking about the mask things again. I think that the biggest one, that we're too afraid of offending someone, so we put this mask on being oh no, I'm okay, I'm fine, it's okay, I'll do this, because there's again fear of being disliked, fear of being disowned, fear of rejection. So we instantly sort of like, we end up putting this mask on thinking, no, I'm okay, I don't mind, because but we think we sort of like think, no, I'm being nice, you know, I don't mind doing it. And I think it's nice to be nicer than saying no, but really, truthfully, you don't deeply want to do it.
No.
But you're scared, the fear of being rejected and abandoned is too much.
And this all has come full circle.
Yes.
Because this is all connected to mental health again.
Exactly.
It's
not
just being able to be the real you and feeling like you have to do things for X, Y and Z reasons, and not having the voice. It's almost like your voice is, you've got somebody putting their hand over your mouth saying you can't be real because you're scared of how that person's going to react. But in reality, if that person cared about you, they should be okay with whatever you're saying, and because you're your own person. And that again links in with boundaries.
It does.
It's all connected.
And we're at a stage where we don't really judge anybody. I have no judgments on anybody, because I just think whatever somebody's going through, you know, only they know. But we're quick enough to say but then apne ghar nahi kade bhi dekhna, like they say apni appa manje thale nahi kade soti ferni hegi, right?
I love that
to see, no, but it's true, isn't it? Appa always the other no hunda ya, sade nahi hunda kosh bhi. Come on, let's just be honest and be real, and let's be raw and be authentic, because then other people around you will be like that. Conversation karte, but open, honest conversations.
We worry about
mirror, don't we?
As the end jaldi upset ho jaye, somebody just didn't pay us a compliment.
Exactly.
You know, and as the end or whatever, you know, they didn't pay us a compliment, or no, we showed them something we made and they didn't play. We thought of how do we get, you know, offended. We get offended. Right?
We do.
But then, you know, when we do it to ourselves, how many times do we get up in the morning? Oh, I don't look right in this. I don't look in that. Or I think I didn't sound clever enough. Or I think I sounded a bit stupid then. But you know, we do it to ourselves all the time. But as soon as somebody says something to us, there we are. You know, we're totally feeling upset and disappointed in.
And empower others, right? Because when they see you, you know, living an empowered, full life, or up your energy punch and the to the other person, and think, you know what, wow, and say it. When somebody's done something really good, or someone's done something that you want to do, or you want to be, say it to them. And you watch, when you are like that, you get so much back. I know we often, you know, just sanu ek choti ji problem aandi hai, appa oh leke baith jande hain, and then we forget all the good that we've got as well. So oh bhi cheta rakho, je sanu rab ne 10 sukh ditte a, ek sa ko is vele hai nahi ga, just remember the other 9. And then you'll get more of that. Because you know, life is not like a still line, is it? It has its ups and downs. But the more work you've done on yourself, the more healing you've had, the better you can overcome these issues?
I was just going to say, after what you just said about God, you know, you know, if we had everything, if everybody had everything,
exactly.
You know, the whole point of, you know, in my opinion, my humble opinion,
absolutely.
is that, you know, because something's missing, we think about God, and we want to remember God, but it's really important, you know, we still have so much to be thankful for and to be grateful for, and that can take you out of some of your low mood or
so we need the contrast, we need the good and the bad, and the good and the bad.
Your faith is like such a big thing, isn't it? For me, like, you know, to turn my pain into power, faith played a big role in it. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ for your breathing, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ I'm awake, thank you God for another day. ਸ਼ੁਕਰਾਨਾ ਛੋਟੀ ਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ, right? ਪਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਵੀ ਆ, ਹਨਾ? And ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰੋ, and then ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ little thing, ਕੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ good morning ਭੇਜਦਾ, ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ good morning ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਛੋਟਾ ਕਰ ਦੇਦਾ morning. Send it with an intention, and then ਦੇਖੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ.
I think as souls as well, we come into this world and we think that let's say my soul lessons this time is going to be about learn how to be forgiving. You know, so if I'm going to learn how to be a forgiving person, I have to have an experience, I have to have someone do something to me. Then I must learn how to forgive. If I need to be learn the virtue of unconditional love, then I've got to have circumstances where I've got to learn unconditional love. That's why some parents will have bache who are born disabled and so crippled, but only through unconditional love they can actually love that child no matter what the child is going through, what it looks like, so we have these experiences that we think that kinna bura hoya whatever, but it's teaching us virtues of faith, of unconditional love, how to be self-compassionate, how to become, you know, all these virtues that, but then we have to have these dunya de vich we have to learn through these difficult circumstances these beautiful God's qualities.
Absolutely. And you know, it's like otherwise we would just be like their parents, and appa repeated patterns. Sometimes we have to see which pattern is no longer serving us, and we can deconstruct that in a way to like make these changes. So, you know, we all have certain patterns, right? Otherwise, repeated patterns. I'll give you a little example. My daughter said the other day, she said, Mom, growing up, she said, you was a chubby girl, and she said I was a chubby girl in my class, and she goes, now my son's going that way. She goes, we don't really want these repeated patterns, let's make some changes. You know, a shorta ja funny example hai, but real life the vich bahut example hai that jehde repeated patterns hoi jande a.
And it comes more behavioral issues, isn't it? So sometimes something happens, they come across some sort of conflict, the first reaction was they're exploding, all this rage and gussa, and they find that it's turned into a repetitive thing, same thing, the same scenario playing out. So usually we have these things, we keep attracting it. The only reason, because we're given an opportunity, let's not react this time, let's find a different strategy to deal with this, and then the pattern holly change. So we do get presented with these same you know, conflicts, but they're a blessing. They're there to teach us, let's change our different way of, you know, responding and reacting to them.
And I think it's important to mention that how we are giving those things to our children. Whether it's anger, hurt, you know, not being able to deal with things, or and if we don't try and grow as adults, then we are not empowering our children even. And so it's important that we continue to learn. We don't just stop and think, oh, you know, I'm just an angry person, or I'm just this, or I'm just that. It's important that we deconstruct what we've been conditioned to do in order to support others, so that they can kind of try and help their children, because anger is not a good thing, not for anybody, and depending on what kind of anger, it is a sign of depression.
Of course, and it only damages you, doesn't it? Because it doesn't damage the other.
And everything.
Say somebody's upset you and you're holding on to that anger for years and years and years. That person's done their bit and they're gone. But ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਅੰਦਰ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਉਹ ਅੰਦਰ ਉਬਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ, ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ.
ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ eventually.
It's not good. And this is where these are the things you've got to recognize, right? But ਮੈਂ ਕਾਤੇ ਇੰਨੇ angry all the time? Why am I angry at that person? Because you're keeping them with you. And they're gone. So it's really
so
important
who's
to
really
recognize-
bothering you, the person or thodi soch?
Yes.
So who's really causing you pain?
Yes.
That person ek dafa karke
Oh,
chala
yeah.
gaya, but tusi bar bar soch ke
Yes.
you are hurting yourself, not the other person.
And this is it. It's like, look, you know, any little example, je hun kisi ko $4 gayi, for example, right? Ota ho gaya. So my mind is, I just need to clean that. Whereas if you start thinking, oh, meri carpet kharab ho gayi, oh ho gaya, and then you're hurting, like the pain is getting worse, isn't it? Same with if there's a dent in the car, it's happened. Okay, let's just deal with that now, rather than kind of upsetting the whole system, right? And making it 100 times worse. Same with what you've just said. Totally, absolutely get it. And you know, we get so away from living in the present then, don't we, as well? Kinni aapa dur to hor ta kuch hai vi nahi ga apne kol. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੱਲ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਚਲੇ ਗਿਆ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੱਲ ਆਉਣਾ ਹਜੇ ਆਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਿਰਫ ਆ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਮੋਮੈਂਟ ਆ। ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਸਿੱਖੀਏ ਤਾਂ you know, we're ਸੌਖੇ, aren't we?
ਜੇ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਰਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵਧੀਆ
ਇਹੀ ਸਿਖਾ ਲਿਆ ਪੈਂਡੈਮਿਕ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਵੀ ਹੋਰ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ। ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਸੀਗੇ, ਇੰਨੇ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਸੀਗੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕ੍ਰੈਸ਼ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ, ਇੱਦਾਂ ਪੈਂਡੈਮਿਕ ਆਉਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਘੜੀ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਣਾ। And that is life, isn't it?
So unpredictable.
Very unpredictable. And you know, life is never going to be in that straight line until we're actually not here. So highs and lows that on here. All the jinde bande nu
the laws are so important. Laws, that's when our atma, our soul grows and evolves. And that's where we become a better version, and we get more connected to Paramatma, you know, through the laws. You know,
and that's where your growth is happening, isn't it? And that's where you're evolving, and then this is going to be the new version of you. And most likely the version that you're supposed to be here as.
And also, if you look at challenges and lows or times in your life when things have not gone right, if you look further back, if you look deeper into it, you'll notice that those are the times that you grew and you changed, and you were for that to happen again or something like that. You kind of in your head you've grown because you've had no choice. So therefore, you know, even the bad things teach us something.
Absolutely.
And you think to yourself,
whatever
oh my God,
that is,
there's something in me, and I didn't realize many strength to get through that. How did I do it?
Absolutely.
Although nahi pata lagda when you're going through it, afterwards you realize.
Absolutely. And you know, the main thing is apna power, apna confidence, apna kol rakho. It's so easy to give it away, and then you feel totally powerless. So from each of you, you know, time initiate janda hai. I can't believe it, we've nearly done our show. A couple of self-care tips from each of you would be great to just share with our audience.
Okay, for me, my favourite thing is music. I just love, if I feel low or, you know, my head kind of isn't in a great place, I might listen to uplifting music, watch positive videos. And for me, nature is the biggest thing. I love going for walks, got a great big dog. But yeah, that really kind of helps me to kind of feel fresh and realigned. Because we are on this earth only for a very short while, and yeah, so I hope that helps.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, same here. I just love listening to music. Anything that uplifts you, makes you feel good. And I always make a conscious aware of my mental diet. You know, always thinking, my key soch at this time is this soch, because I know it. If I keep putting all my attention onto this thought, it will come an experience. Do I really want to experience this thought that's not making me feel good? Because I'm always paying attention. My key soch it just soch makes me feel good, then I'll sochi jaungi. If it doesn't make me feel good, out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And from me, you know, look after yourself. Do what makes you happy. I like to go to the gym. That makes me feel good. And also, I like to go out and have a laugh with my friends, my children. And most importantly, I love to spend time with my grandchildren, because you don't think about anything. And, you know, it's just so real. And they are like just honestly abundance, and you just are constantly on a high. So whatever makes you smile, we keep doing. And remember one more thing, nobody owns you and you don't own anybody, so don't have that expectation from anybody, because jo bhi apan baar lab rahe hain oh ta already thode andar hai na.
So true.
And look forward to the next one. So thank you so much to my beautiful guests, and thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll be back with very soon with the next show. So Jai Gurudev, and thank you so much to Kanshi TV.
Bye bye.
Bye.